Hey, Mr. Brada, it's Alex. The topic that I chose and the one that I'm going to be discussing with you today is the impact of fossil fuels on the environment. One of the huge things that led me to choose this was that personally, I feel it's one of the most dangerous subjects to discuss in environmental science, and it's also something that impacts the entire biosphere. Whereas some other topics that you listed just impact one area, like the could be the atmosphere, the surface, or the oceans. But that was what really drew me to this, and it's the reason actually why I chose it as my capstone. So I'll just get right into it. So some of the pictures that you can see here are the impacts that fossil fuels can have on the world, but one of the ones that is kind of hard to show you physically is the first way that it impacts us. So when fossil fuels are burned, so take coal for instance, when you burn that, it creates smog, which creates a thick layer of toxic gas basically that is very dangerous to our health. It can cause respiratory issues like difficulty breathing and stuff like that. It can be long term or short term. After that, it's released into the atmosphere, as you can see in a few of those pictures there. And from there, these greenhouse gases trap in heat into the atmosphere, which can then lead to the overall heating of the Earth as a whole and also the oceans, which leads to the ice caps melting, creating a rising sea level. So, those pictures you can see on the right and left. Top left, you see Louisiana over there losing a large portion of its landmass due to it being submerged. So that was one of the reasons that I included that picture. Also, in effect, is what I did my capstone on, which is ocean acidification. So, as carbon dioxide mixes with water, creates carbonic acid, which deteriorates and wears down calcium carbonate, basically. Calcium carbonate, most paramount aspect of that in our oceans is coral reefs, which provide a lot of habitat and biodiversity to the ocean and the world. So by bleaching those out, we're losing a lot of habitat and biodiversity across the world, which can lead to problems with us humans specifically, economics, food sources, stuff like that. Also, the increased severity and frequency of tropical storms as a result of the burning of fossil fuels, the carbon emissions can contribute to that as well. Overall, this is a really big topic, and there's a lot of different aspects that it can contribute to. So I thought it was a really interesting way to do this project because there's a lot of different ways that burning fossil fuels can hurt the environment. So that's why it's really important to teach in environmental science because we need some alternatives to fix that. I know that we do have some now. We've discussed them in class, but it's really the idea that we have to drive home to use alternatives so that these issues don't worsen and continue. Thank you.